going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today's going to be a good one, guys. I have a Three Musketeer Pro on the line. Ace actually reached out to me a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "This, you got to get JuLe on the channel. He's absolutely beast mode with Three Muskies." So today we're going to do just that. You guys are in for a treat. We're going to talk about 4 of really challenging, I don't know if they're the toughest, but they're right up there, matchups, and give you guys kind of templates to use when you go against these decks. But first, JuLe, welcome to the channel, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just won a game on ladder.
Nice.
Got a bunch of replays in the chat.
Yeah, we have so many replays to choose from. I feel like we just spent an hour kind of just talking about which ones we want to share. But either way, you have 3 accounts in the top 100 right now. Congratulations. You're dominating with the classic OG Three Muskie deck right here. Is this your favorite Three Musketeer deck right now in the meta for ladder?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Nice. Well, hey, dude, want to hop right into it? I could play, but I'm on my free-to-play account. I kind of want to sneak in some live coaching, but everything's under-leveled and stuff. So let's just go into the good stuff here. And let's start with the Golem matchup. I really want to get a nice Golem template. So want to watch the motion replay first?
Yeah, of course.
All right. I'm going to pause and press play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously pump is your starting play. Now, when you pump as a Three Musketeer player, are you comfortable pumping as the first move of the match?
I'm comfortable as long as I have Goblin Gang.
Okay. So what if you have like Miner instead of Goblin? Like, you
wouldn't. I wouldn't advise that. I feel comfortable defending a Miner with a Miner.
Okay.
I don't know how other people feel about that.
Okay. So immediately you're just kiting here at the beginning of the match, and you know, you must know immediately with a Baby Dragon, the Lumberjack is playing Golem.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you trying to do right now?
So I'm just going to be cycling to another pump. And normally with Lumberjack, they're using Zap. So I'm just going to play Battle Ram Goblin Gang. And then that gets me back to another pump.
Okay. So it's all about, like, if you were to give, like, an overall strategy goal or whatever in the first 2 minutes against Golem, it's just continuing to cycle pumps and defending?
Yeah, basically.
And taking opportunities if you have one?
Yeah. And then I'm going to zap this Mega Minion because right now if I play 3 Musk and I split 1 to the Golem, it's the 1 Musk is going to go really far up and way too close to the Golem, and I'm not going to be able to kite the Night Witch because she's just going to go to the 1 Musk. Okay. And then my defense would fall apart.
Okay. And this is really textbook how you want to handle Golem pushes, right? 1 Musketeer to the Golem side and then kite the support troops?
Yeah.
Okay. If you didn't have, like, say, Ice Golem in hand, what would you have done? Would you drop like a ram or a miner? Or
would have done the exact same thing I did with the Ice Golem, just with a Battle Ram.
Okay.
Works the same way.
All right. So here, it does not really an ideal situation, but you've got to be feeling really good because you have 2 pumps to nothing.
Yeah. I know, like, in the next 10 seconds, I'm going to be able to take his tower back. Like, he NATOs, and I can just play Goblin Gang. He doesn't have any elixir.
Yeah. And I mean, this is such a small thing, but it's, I think the difference between like a really good Three Musketeer player is knowing when to kind of go all in. You sent in the Miner, you sent in the Gang. I think some players might have been more kind of reluctant to go all in there and just cycle to another pump. So I think that like you must have a really keen awareness of your opponent's elixir and the cards in their hand. Do you have any tips to my viewers on how to get better at like kind of keeping track of these things? As a Three Musketeer player playing this deck specifically, besides the big spell, what else are you looking for?
I'm just, like, if I see him able to just go, like, Baby Dragon, Night Witch, and then, like, Fireball my 2 Musk, I know he's going to be low on Elixir. It's just being aware of what he's used.
Okay.
And it's fairly intuitive, like, oh, he just spent, like, 20 Elixir. There's no way he could defend this. It's more or less common sense.
So here is kind of a good situation for you, despite the Fireball.
Yeah. And he even NATOs this, which is pretty ambitious in my opinion.
Yeah. Takes care of your horde, but now you have a huge elixir advantage here, like a 4 or 5 elixir advantage. So what's going through your mind right now? Are you going for the 3? Well, you're obviously...
I'm going for the 3 crown. I need to like put pressure on the other lane. And he even fireballs my ram, which is really good.
Yeah. When do you know when to send in the Miner to support a push or when not to? Like, obviously a very basic question, but is it all just, you know, intuitive at this point for you? Or do you have any tips on, you know, when to combo the Miner with the ram and stuff like that?
A lot of times, like in this game, I don't really do it, but I'm going to be sending the ram, like not on the tower, but with a Musketeer, like I'm going to play it more or less like a knight.
Okay.
And I do
Okay.
this to, like, either, like, with a ram, I'll do it to catch something. So, like, let's say I play against P.E.K.K.A. Ram, and I know they have Ghost in Cycle, and they, like, play a P.E.K.K.A. in the back. I'll just go Battle Ram, Goblin Gang, and then play the Miner, more or less like 3 tiles in front of the tower, and that'll catch their Ghost, and they'll more or less lose the game on the spot.
Okay. It seems like the Miner, like, that might be one of the most important roles in this deck in terms of a card that you really need to know, like, you know, exactly how to use properly. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Yeah, I would. And then against Golem Pump, like,
that was my next question.
Oh, okay.
So no, go ahead.
Pump,
yeah.
The Miner is strictly for the pump, and you're never, ever, ever naked minering. I strongly disagree with that play. Like, if you send, like, Battle Ram, Goblin Gang on one side and then Miner the pump, that puts them under so much more pressure, and you're either doing a huge amount of damage or you're taking their pump.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to ask that because everybody knows that, especially if they know you're playing Three Musketeers, but even if they don't, everybody knows that you're going to miner the pump, right? And they have an answer for it in hand usually. So let's just pretend it's the very first play of the game in the other opponent, whether they're playing Three Musk or Golem, you don't know yet, let's say. Let's say you have Miner in Gang, in Minion Horde, and Ice Golem in hand, for example. And they pump up, like, what are you going to do immediately? So you don't have the ram. What are you going to do?
I would do Ice Golem, Goblin Gang on the side furthest away from the pump, because normally when someone pumps, they pump in the middle at the start because they don't know if they have Rocket or Graveyard. And I'll just send Ice Golem, Goblin Gang on the side furthest away from the pump, and then Miner the pump.
On the other side?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that strategy because that strategy always gets me because they're so concerned with stopping that sometimes they don't catch the Miner.
Yeah.
All right.
It's also, like, it's definitely more ideal if you do Battle Ram, Goblin Gang. That's a lot more intimidating.
Okay, so that would be the best case scenario: Battle Ram, Goblin Gang on the far side, and then Miner to the other side of the pump.
Yeah, and ideally you can just pump when they pump, but not everything's perfect.
Okay. Well, that's a question for you. So, like, if they pump, and pump is your 5th card in hand, let's make it a little interesting here, or your next card up, basically. Would you cycle to pump, or would you pressure?
I would pressure because you're forfeiting 2 elixir off the start of the game. That's not very, like, punishing and playing a pump, in my, more or less from playing many games with this deck, they normally work out just as well, like, against really good players. Great
advice there. So want to go to the Gummy Bear one because he is an absolute beast when it comes to 2.9 Xbow. So let's watch this matchup. I'm going to pause at the beginning.
I got to get to it.
Yep. And let me know when you're here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. 3, 2, 1, play. And maybe just kind of give a little bit of a precursor to handling a Xbow, 2.9 Xbow, or really any Xbow deck. Like, what is your main 2 strategy going to be?
So I'm normally playing Ice Golem kind of in the middle, the opposite lane of the Xbow, and I'm just taking as much damage as possible. Like, I'm using the Ice Golem to its fullest potential. Like, if I play it to the same lane as the Xbow, then, like, their archers or Tesla are going to chip it off, and it's going to die way faster. I played 3 Musk really early, but I think it's because I know he's using 2.9.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see archers, Tesla.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, I want him to fireball 2 Musk, like, early, but he doesn't do that because he's a good player.
Yeah, and one thing about Xbow players is obviously when you split 3 Musk in the back, they're going to place that defensive Xbow, and they'll have Fireball and Log. So, like, I always struggle with this matchup. So you let that, I guess you let it lock on.
I took a lot of damage here, like, because he's not fireballing the pump, which is what I think the correct play is. So I'm fine losing half of my tower if it means I'm going to be a full pump up.
Okay. So that was interesting too, and it just goes to show how much damage a miners are really deceivingly good against Xbows. Like,
they're very good
when they make contact. So is that your normal? Okay, well, obviously your normal situation, how you're going to defend is with an Ice Golem opposite lane. But actually just walk us through what you're doing right now, because this is important. It's a defensive Xbow, and you're walking right into it.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be able to get out of this with the Xbow dead. and good tower damage if he doesn't use his fireball. Like, I'm pretty sure I force him to fireball this. Yeah, I do. And I'm just able to pump again.
Is the only reason that you went in with a gang and stuff like that, trying to bait out that fireball?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I want him to fireball it.
So it seems like that's an important part of your strategy, is like just basically baiting in unorthodox ways. So it's not always with just the gang. It's not always with, with the minion horde. It's not always just with Three Musketeer pump.
Yeah. Here I made a mistake. I tried to predict his Xbow. I was 1 elixir off. Like you saw, he had the card selected, but then that's something that's a little more advanced. But normally I get it. There I was like, oh no, I lost.
Okay. So that was the only reason you played Three Musketeer in the same lane, is because you knew that you just needed, it was kind of like a desperation move.
Oh, I knew he wasn't going to be able to fireball it in time. That was fine. I was more upset with the minion horde. I played a minion horde at the bridge thinking he would Xbow into it.
So you played a miner on the Tesla there. Can you talk us through the thought process on that?
I simply want the Tesla to hit the miner instead of the minions.
Gotcha. And I've also noticed that you've been splitting your Three Muskies in front of the King Tower. Is that just because of pump, or would you always split there against this matchup?
I don't like doing that, but in this matchup, I want him to at least, like, if he Xbows at the bridge when I split 1 Musk to my weak tower, then he'll lose. Because I'll just be able to ram or ice golem in front of them, and it'll always be favorable for me.
And you just played a miner. You cycled a miner like basically in front of the tower. Can you talk about, was that just a cycle?
That was the cycle, more or less. Like here, I'm super scared about like letting him break through with Xbow. I'm just not allowing him to do that.
So is that a big part of your strategy in terms of talk a little bit about the decision-making process behind playing your Three Musketeer in the back, in front of the King Tower, or at the bridge with this?
So in this matchup, I don't want to be playing 3 Musk in the back, because if I split 3 Musk in the back to the right, then he hits my pump and 2 Musk of a fireball. If I split 2 Musk in the back to the left, then he gets a value fireball on the tower that he wants to fireball cycle anyway. If I split them high up to the right, then the fireball isn't as scary, and I'm able to, like, I'm up so much elixir because of that first Xbow. Like, I keep that elixir advantage for the rest of the game, and I'm able to play like battle ram, like ice golem, and make the push really scary.
Yeah, that was really, really well played, honestly. And it was the thing that kind of stuck out at me too there is, and it kind of goes along the lines of what we were just talking about, but you oftentimes, you played like a ram in the back, you cycled minor, like unorthodox moves, you know, and then you would kind of just basically do it in reverse order, right? Is it as easy as that? You have instead of placing the tanks in front of the 3 Muskies, you're placing the 3 Muskies after the tanks approach?
Well, in that scenario, yes, because if I can't really, like, I don't want to start out with like 3 Musk in the back, because as I said earlier, like either fireball would be really detrimental.
Mm-hmm. Cool, man. Let's do the one against MWT. This is a Mortar deck, a Mortar with fireball. Like, what could be worse?
It's really annoying
for you. I definitely want to know about this one. Let's go ahead and pause and start in 3, 2, 1. Play. I think this might be Surge TS. If so, what's up, man? So here we go. Now, why don't you kind of start out by talking what the difference is in play style? It might be everything, it might be nothing, between Mortar and Xbow, the 2 siege matchups.
Okay, so against this deck, right when I see fireball, okay, so I don't know his deck, I just cycle Zap, which isn't very good against bait.
Yeah, right.
That's unlucky. But okay, I think I knew he had fire. I don't know. Normally I would wait for the Mortar to hit the tower, but there I just let it hit my 3 Musk. I don't.
Okay, so you played 3 Musk, same lane as the Mortar.
Yeah.
Tell us why and when you would do that. Because you've done it twice now. You did it once against the Xbow, and you did it once against the Mortar. Obviously, I'm sure it's not ideal, but it's something that I really rarely, if ever, do as a 3, unless I know they have, like, you know, lightning and I'm blocking it or something, you know?
Okay, so here I did that because I'm able to cycle Battle Ram Minion Horde. Like, it just becomes really scary for them. Like, here he's just spending so much elixir. He sends Miner and Bats on defense even, and now I'm able to pump. Like, I did take a negative trade, but now I'm going to be controlling the tempo of the game more or less.
Okay, so you're looking at that as kind of almost like a tempo, taking control of the cadence of the match, almost.
Yeah. So instead of playing Three Musketeer, I'm not going to try to play Three Musk this early on into the game. I'm just going to play Battle Ram Minion Horde again because he doesn't have Zap.
Okay. So in your mind right now, you're like, you want to do Battle Ram Minion Horde.
Yeah, and I get to it.
Okay. I noticed you place everything as close as possible to the wall there. Is that to avoid a defensive mortar?
More or less, yeah. Or like, it's just
Whatever.
harder for the player to defend if it's close to the wall.
And this time you actually get a ton of damage.
Which is
and
really
this guy
good.
has Fireball too. So like in your head, are you thinking, especially in single elixir time, are you thinking if I pump up any Fireballs pump, I'm always just going to attack with everything I got?
Okay, so I don't really know how to respond to that question. Like when I see Fireball and Mortar, I'm just playing, like I'm normally winning by pump, but he has Miner and Rascals. So if I pump, he can really, really get me. Like he can play like Rascals and Miner, and it's really hard to defend your pump and defend your tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just basically winning by playing Battle Ram. And he misses a Fireball, which is really bad. It wouldn't have made a difference though. He's got too many. Like,
yeah, you can totally see how Battle Ram and Horde are your bread and butter in this matchup, certainly.
Yeah, in this matchup especially.
Yeah.
And
what
here,
other matchups are like this where you'll put a lot of pressure with Ram Horde? It's like a huge power play.
Basically no other matchup. Like
Okay.
I do something similar. Like here, I'm going to split Minion Horde, I bet. Okay, yeah. Like here, it would have been a really bad play. Like if I think about it, if I play Battle Ram Minion Horde with one Musk, he's just going to fireball it immediately. There's going to be no question in his mind. He's just going to fireball it. If I play Minion Horde with the two Musk, that's also a huge fireball. I'm going to be splitting the Minion Horde in the middle and trying to get each side, like both sides of the arena, like equal in elixir.
Now that last exchange, JuLe, is like, I feel like there's a million questions I could have, but you split Three Musketeers in front of your King Tower there, right? And we're seeing the result of it right now. But you had many options there. You could have distracted the Rascals with like an Ice Golem or something like that and pumped up again. Why did you decide to keep putting the pressure with the Three Muskies?
Because I knew I was up in elixir, and I knew that his Rascal, he just uses Rascals. Like they're by far one of the most annoying things to deal with in that matchup.
Okay.
Once Rascals are gone, I'm going to be able to just really go ham on the lane with the one Musketeer.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's watch the Hussein Jamal replay now. He's playing, that annoying, well, it's the Three Muskie versus Three Muskie, but he has the Fireball in Royal Hog version.
I despise this deck.
Yeah, so he has the matchup on this. Let's press play in 3, 2, 1, go. And man, I don't know how you won, but I'm sure we'll find out. Oh, but you know what? Something back to I guess 2 questions for you to kind of focus on when you're able is one is it seems like you often place the Battle Ram behind the King Tower. When do you do that? Is it just kind of a cycle play, or why and when?
It was more or less a cycle play. Like I think in the Mortar game, I played Battle Ram at the bridge a lot more often.
Yes.
Like it just depends on the matchup and what they're trying to do. Like here, this Hussein, like this player, he overcommits way too hard on his first offense. Like this is a really bad play.
Yeah, because look at your Three Muskies just cleaning up, and you have the pump.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna play Miner on the inside. Like look at where I play the Miner.
Okay.
And that's gonna distract the left tower.
Oh, wow. Man, it's like I knew that would happen, but I never do that.
Yeah, that's something really important.
Yeah, okay.
I think I screwed up. Yeah, I screwed up the Battle Ram a little bit. Actually, no, I didn't. No, that was a good Battle Ram.
Nice. And
because he used his Valkyrie and Hunter to clean up those Musketeers, and now he just doesn't have them, so Ram is really threatening. He's spamming his hog emotes.
Yeah. What do you think of the new emotes? You a fan?
I'm a fan if I had them. I don't have them. It's unfortunate. I want to spam my pig emotes.
I think they're pretty good. They're not as good as the hog ones, in my opinion.
Oh, the screaming hog is...
Yeah.
a classic.
That's the number one. All right, so back to the game here. Well, you know, as you split this Three Musketeer, talk about playing Three Musketeers same lane. Back to that question I asked you last match. Is it like maybe name some? Wow, this is a lot of action. So I don't know. Share whatever you want to share right now.
Okay. Right now, he's basically saying, "Okay, I'm gonna lose that right tower," and he's gonna really go hard. Like he's gonna send his.
Whoa.
Oh. So, and I force him to fireball there. And at this point, I'm like, okay, look at his king tower.
Yeah.
He's even gonna play a Valkyrie. And I'm gonna play 3 Musk, but I'm gonna wait a little bit because I need them to lock onto my king tower. I don't want my Musketeers to get gunned.
Gotcha. Smart play. So at
And
this
his
point,
fireball and Valkyrie are gone.
He still has the. I mean, he still has the edge. I mean, maybe not with 350 HP, but he still has the edge. You know, he has fireball and you don't.
Yeah. I even made him fireball the left because I split the horde. Like it's just such a strong play.
Yeah, splitting horde is another thing that you do that I rarely ever do. But nice, nice 3 crown. Oh, if you only had the pigs to match his BM, right?
I know. I have to use my pleb default emotes.
I know. It's okay. All right, let's watch one more, man, because I want to know how to handle a bait matchup here. So where is it? Let's do the KK one.
Okay.
And let's press play in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
And yeah, man, maybe anything. Well, this is an interesting starting hand because you don't have pump in it. I think
I haven't had pump at the start. I think I only had it against Moochin.
Yeah. So yeah, talk us through this one.
Right. Here, I'm definitely gonna leak. Oh no, I don't. That's interesting.
Okay. Would you ever? Was that just like a impatient starting the match play,
I think
or would
that's
you ever do
impatient.
that?
I think I was just playing over and over again, and
Sure.
I got. Okay, I played 3 Musk early. I just see KK's name and I see a princess.
Well, talk about bait, because other previous Three Musketeer pros that I've had on the channel have told me that against bait, the number one thing you want to pay attention to is the princess. Do you agree with that?
I 100% agree.
Okay.
Here, I know I'm going to be able to kill his princess. Oh, I even zapped it. I didn't need to zap.
Talk a little bit about why that is. I mean, it might be obvious to some viewers, but kind of break it down.
The princess is just the strongest thing on defense by far. Like, normally Miner is strictly to kill a princess, or there will be situations where I'll play 3 Musk and he'll play the bait player will play the princess to the 2 Musk. Okay, so he goes really aggressive here.
So you delay a little bit, wait for the princess to lock on the tower, then you play your horde there.
Yeah.
Back to that point that you were making is when you kill the princess, let's just say that you kill the princess with, I don't know, Goblin Gang, okay? Does that mean that you should immediately think, okay, I can attack with horde, like a minor horde, or is that a little bit of an overreaction?
Like normally, like I'm winning by minion horde damage, but it's because I'm able to miner the princess either preemptively or he's just lower on elixir.
Okay, and talk about predictive princess miners. So, like, let's say you split 3 Musk, like right now, and they haven't played princess yet, but you know they're going to. Like, when do you predict?
So, something important to take note of is it would be stupid to miner a princess in this situation at around 50 seconds because look how far the princess is. Like, the 2 Musk are going to kill it. Oh, he made a huge mistake too. And this is also one of the matchups where I'm going to be playing. This is one of the very few matchups where I'll play minion horde same lane, because if I split it, it's not as strong. I'm going to be they're going to get killed by like the Tesla, the princess.
That's really interesting. Say that again. So wait, this is one of the only matchups where you don't. So every other matchup, pretty much, you will be splitting from minion horde.
So like, look,
okay.
I'm gonna play minion horde same lane here because his hand is just god awful to defend it.
Is. Man, how do you know what he has in hand at all times? Like, you can't be keeping track of all 8 cards. Is it pretty much you're keeping track of a couple, and then just by nature of knowing what he doesn't have in his hand, you know what he does?
Oh, I do have an emote. Okay. But I see him playing Tesla, like he played Tesla, and he just uses princess. I'm keeping track of Tesla and princess. Like, in that scenario.
Okay. Well, hey man, just wanted to thank you. It's been we reviewed 4 kind of difficult or popular matches, and I felt like we got a lot of valuable information. Even the gameplay speaks for itself in these matches. So, JuLe, thank you so much for coming on the channel, man. Really enjoyed having you on.
Thank you.
Any shout outs, anything like that? I mean, I'll include your Twitter.
I'll definitely
anything.
shout out the Silent server. That's their like this. It's this Discord server that I use to play with. Like I play with other top players like Ace, Bag, CBQ.
Yeah,
They've definitely helped me get better at this game,
awesome.
and I wouldn't be at this level if it weren't for them.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, thank you for paying that forward and helping our viewers today. Appreciate it, dude.
All right.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Check out, I don't know, a couple of JuLe's accounts, player stats and profile, thanks to statsroyale.com in the description below. Huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information as well. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, take care, guys.